I mean, I probably hear it 3-5 times a day in the office.
Like very
and
commonly.
it's shocking every time I hear it, and I have to make a big deal about it because normal aging, here's my picture of normal aging. I lived in Austria for about a year, and I was hiking mountains with 80 and 90-year-olds. I mean, pretty big mountains. I was in my 20s, and that's what I want to be able to do when I'm in my 80s and 90s. When you look in the U.S., normal aging of what is portrayed and what we're seeing, you can really boil it down to lifestyle issues and toxicity. And that is not normal aging. That is unhealthy aging that now people are accepting as, oh, those are my normal aches and pains. And you've heard me talk about it. There is nothing normal about those symptoms. Those symptoms are the signals saying there's an imbalance, and that's what we need to get corrected and educated about so that we don't wind up to a point of no return.
Right.
Once you cross that barrier, then it might be a little bit hard to bring you back. So that's just my public service announcement.
I actually think that's a really important point because people experience things like chronic headaches or chronic pain in their back or chronic anything, and it's especially bad when their doctor tells them, well, you're getting older.
It's so damning, and then they accept that.
And then they no longer tune into that symptom as their body telling them, wait a minute, something's not something's not right here.
Right.
Because it is exactly those symptoms that are the most those are the clues that tell us what's going on. And once they become thought of as normal, then they get tuned out.
And so that's, so you men listening out there, if you've got symptoms, call us or your doctor, get it checked out. Don't ignore them anymore, because that's the big thing. Men tend to ignore their symptoms, and then by the time we go into the doctor, it's sometimes too late. So
the footnote I would put on that is if you have a symptom and you go to the doctor and you tell them about it and they said, how old are you? Yeah, well, you're getting older. If they tell you that, get a new doctor. Find somebody who is interested in understanding why you feel the way you feel.
And ask that question, why? Why is this happening? Not that it's a normal process, but why? That's where naturopathic medicine really excels. All right, so switching gears one more time into heart disease, since that is the number one killer out there. It's not unique to men, but it is part of men's health. And as preparing for our men's health talk, we kind of joked of, well, what men's health? We're talking about health. So we're going to talk about heart disease here. Just some notes on cholesterol, since that seems to be the biggest topic when you think about cardiovascular disease. Recently information coming out about the statin drugs as not being as effective as we were once led to believe.
Really?
Surprise, surprise. We've only been talking about that for 10 years, and it's been in the research. When you read the research, even on the inserts on the medications, they tell you right up front. So it's a really great PR marketing that they've got on those drugs. Cardiologists shudder when we get a hold of their patients because we educate people about what it is. So cholesterol, yes, it's important. It's a part of the equation. It's not the only thing. And really where we look at is inflammation. And looking at inflammation plus cholesterol, that's where the killer is. There's a tie-in with heavy metals as well. Cholesterol can raise with heavy metal burden.
Cholesterol will go up with low thyroid function.
Thyroid.
Very commonly in women that come in with elevated cholesterol, when you run the appropriate thyroid test, you see, you've got underactive thyroid. You don't have to do anything about the cholesterol. All you got to do is fix the thyroid, and the cholesterol will come down by itself.
So it's much more than the good versus the bad cholesterol. There is a component, with fish oils that also help with regulating cholesterol, but also they're anti-inflammatory. So inflammation, I think, is the take home on the cardiovascular health front.
Also, if we just another footnote about testing around inflammation. There are tests that will assess to fairly accurately the amount of inflammation, or at least the evidence of inflammation. In the conventional world, they're not prone to run these tests, and I don't understand why. And there are things like cardio CRP, or high sensitivity CRP, is a marker for inflammation in the cardiovascular system. Homocysteine. I run it on every patient now because homocysteine is a strong marker of, it's an inflammatory marker. Or it is associated with excess inflammation and a lot of things, not just heart disease, but dementia and osteoporosis and many other things. And so it's an easy test to run, and it's an easy one to bring down if you know that it's elevated. Yeah. Or even what's called sedimentation rate. Just gives you a general
inflammatory marker.
It's a general inflammatory marker.
So that is, if you have a strong family history of cardiovascular disease, if you're a smoker, that's definitely a big risk factor of cardiovascular disease. What we're stressing is you got to get adequate testing. We're seeing the folks that are going to the specialists, the cardiologist, the top-notch cardiologist, and all they run is cholesterol.
They just do, they look
which is ridiculous.
It's crazy. It's just crazy.
There's inadequate care, and that's why we think it's the #1 killer, is because people are not educated about how the heart works and how just basic physiology of the body. So I think on that note, anything else you want to add in on that?
I think all right. We can go on.
We're gonna bring it to a close. We hope you enjoyed the discussion on men's health. Please send comments to info@nature.
No.
Oh,
questions.
Whoa.
Yeah, not info. Don't send info. Yeah. Send them to questions@naturecuresclinic.com. And also check out our website because we're constantly adding new material. We just added a new over to the right side column, we have a new, it's news and events or something like that, where we have the kind of the latest things happening. We just have a quick bullet about it with a way to find out more. So check out the website, more stuff coming there. And if you have ideas that you would like us to cover in these, whether you're listening as a podcast or you can catch us on YouTube or Vimeo, I think both. We have them on both. Yeah. You might be watching them there, but you can, if you want to hear us cover something, send your ideas to questions@naturecuresclinic.com. Let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about, or if you have particular questions you'd like us to answer, send those along and we'll try to start making time at the end of these things. I think we actually have a few questions in the queue that we haven't gotten to.
We'll bring those out for next time.
We'll get them out.
So thanks for tuning in.